Yeah, all right. Yes.
You know I'm in the control room. You know I'm pushing buttons. Brother Chris, you there? Can you hear me? Oh, he muted. Hold on. Uh-oh, you disappeared. What's up, Brother Suave, Dr. Brother Suave?
Everything's suave-tastic, man.
That's what's good. That's what's good, man. Yeah, I just I'm in here pressing buttons, getting my control room game on
Okay,
tight.
okay.
You know how it works, man. You know how.
Absolutely.
How's everything going? Being well, remaining well, and all that good stuff, man.
Man, let me tell you, it's going better than it did 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
Hey, I had something to disagree with my stomach and just felt like heartburn. And so I drank some Gatorade, did a couple of breathing, and man, I'm feeling great all over again. I'm so happy.
Good.
You know,
Glad
you
to
know,
hear
you
it.
feel like you got gas in your chest, man. It's not a great feeling.
Oh, I know it's not. I know it's not. Y'all see, I'm trying to get camera center, so y'all just work with me for a minute. You know.
Okay, I see the general. I see the general.
The three kings back together. They ain't ready for this. They ain't ready for this. Season two now. We're the real season two.
All right.
we had a mini season. You know what I'm saying? Where we came on and did a couple of shows. But before I even get into that, I just want to do this. I want to do this real quick, right first, right quick, right first. Just a minute, General. Oh man, did y'all see that?
Okay, okay.
The Dr. Brother Suave show, the first official show. That's why it's historic. The first official show on neighborhood
And
on Neighborhood Planet and NPNTv. Boy, you know what? You're gonna be the first one they're gonna interview on the History Channel documentary for us. We gonna be there, man. We gonna be there. We gonna do some legendary things. We gonna do some legend.
absolutely.
So anyway, man, let me get off that cloud. How y'all brothers doing? Everybody doing well this week? How the families doing? How your loved ones doing? What's going on?
Well, man, listen. Let me tell you, I'm on a high right now. You know, some of the things working through. Can't wait till this other project as we spoke earlier. Trying to get that nonprofit going. Just trying to get make sure my products are seen more. And just still working on that. Still working on the Ten Commandments, making it ready for academia. Um, and just really, really just trying to grind it out, man. Just excited about social therapy with Brother Suave, Dr. Brother Suave. I'm excited about the guests, all the healing from a social, spiritual, and clinical perspective. I thank God for my team, everybody, man, all the support, all the responses, the positive interactions, and these wonderful and powerful guests, man. So right now I'm on a high. My son just got accepted, getting ready to start college. Oh man, you don't even understand. You know, so hey, it's a blessing.
We live, hey brother, we live in the dream, and God is using us, as tools and vessels, man, and we have to just realize that and really put the work in. That's why I said, I'm just really starting to get absorbed with being able to work with you brothers to be able to do whatever damage we need to do in the world, and I'm gonna call it like that because I have an initiative that's a media initiative called Disturb the Peace because
Absolutely,
yeah, so because I'm looking to, disturb this peaceful long hiatus that mainstream media has had and had control over our imagery and control over our narrative, thinking that we were not smart enough and intelligent enough to tell our own stories. Man, I've been so full of it this week, man. When I heard about Snoop Dogg going and buying Death Row,
oh yes, I had to post that today. I had to post it.
And that's gonna be legendary. You watch, and he getting ready to connect with 50 Cent too, man. So 50 doing this thing. They said that Force with the one with Tommy coming back was the highest rated Stars debut ever in history of Stars.
Yeah, I saw it. I got my opinion. I don't know, but I mean, it was. I enjoyed it.
I understand. The thing is that you always got to find the grace and blessings in everything. You spiritual, man. I mean, you hit my soul and touch my soul and talk to my soul all the time. So, we live in that. We are that prime example of all of that. I mean, the story and just, it's just like a pyramid. We just got it triangled out where it can never fall. The base is serious. There's a point at the top, a pinnacle at the top that's bringing complete balance in this thing. The three kings, man. Come on, man. Yep. The Friday Cipher, baby.
Yes.
The place to relax, come and have some great conversations, thoughts, feelings, expression. And I've been loving this thing, man. Like you said, it's very therapeutic for me, Dr. Brother Suave. And I'm glad to know that your passion and love that you have for all of humanitarianism, in the core of or the substance of people. And I can appreciate that, man. This has been very therapeutic for me and helping me grow. And I'm glad to be here with you, brothers, because we all got stories to tell, and I like to listen to the stories and help spread the stories and all that good stuff, man. So that's about it, man. I'd have talked enough. Brother General, what's going on with you, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. General in the house. Father the Six, what's going on, fellas? I'm doing good. This has been a lovely, wonderful, spectacular week. How's my audio? Is it good? Okay, good. Yeah, it's been a wonderful, spectacular, beautiful week. I cannot complain. You know what I mean? There's a lot more. There's other people who are doing worse than what I am, or you know what I mean. So I'm saturated in gratitude. Kids are doing good. I don't have nobody in my circle, nobody in my family, my immediate associates, anything that's doing bad. So everyone is doing good. So it's contagious. So it's contagious onto me too. And I try to do my best to spread that. You know what I mean? So I'm doing good. This weekend is going to be one of the best weekends of my life. Why? Because I'm gonna make it that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it that way. We got game night, family game night tomorrow. I'm excited. I don't even know what game we playing, but I'm just excited. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy to be here one more day to give it one more try, and I'm excited for tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like what he said. He says he's gonna make it great. And that's the thing I tell people, man. I can is easier to say than I can't. So you can speak positive in your life. Not no. He's gonna make it great because the reality is, as he said, we thanking God for another day to get it right, another day that we ain't never seen before, and we're gonna make the best out of it. The bottle's half full, not a half empty with us.
And you know what? I was telling my kids during our family dinner, one of the discussions we had was, you can be the author of your life. Being the author of your life, what does that mean? What does it look like to be the author of your life? That means write what you want your life to be like. You know what I mean? Through your decisions and your actions. What are your decisions and your actions displaying? And one thing I say, I've been saying this quite often is, can your life's work be recognized through your current actions? And I know we talked about that in the last episode. Can your life's work be recognized through your current actions? And I say, imagine if the camera was on you 24/7. You see what I'm saying? The microphone was on 24/7. You see what I'm saying? And one of the exercises we did at the family dinner, and my son's right here with me. Say what up.
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
What's up, young king?
One of the exercises we did with her, I told him, I said, okay, think about this. If you were to pass away, what would God think about you? What would your classmates think about you? What would your family think about you? What would your spouse think about you? Your partner, your friends? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And most importantly, how does your higher self see you? Do you see what I'm saying? How does your higher self see you?
Yeah.
Because just like a photographer takes pictures or photos from different angles. Sometimes they get on the ground and they get that low angle right there. Sometimes they get to the side and then they got you looking like this. You see what I'm saying? But it's something about that high angle. You know what I mean?
What
is your higher self, how does your higher self see you from a higher angle? You know what I mean? And I believe when I tell myself that, or I ask myself that, and I'm in situations or I have decisions to make, I'm like, dang, my higher self don't see me making that decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you know what? That's a lower self decision. You know what I'm saying? I can go higher than that. You know what I mean? So how does your higher self see you first? Because people see you how you see yourself. You know what I mean? So what are you self projecting? You know what I mean? So I could go on for a couple more minutes, but that was just the gist of some of the conversations we had this week.
And well, that's the blessing that you have it with your seed. That's the great thing. What's going on, Sister Queen?
She got an eye on us out there, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Can definitely and you know what, General? And you saying that, I thought about it. I do own the hireme.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I do own the hireme.com. So that's just the way great minds thinks. What great minds do what, Dr. Brother Suave?
Great mind reach great places.
I told you they ain't ready for us, man. We too sharp. We too sharp for them, man. We too sharp for them. But yeah, man, I'm just glad to be able to be back. One thing I am deciding to do that I'm really going to go ahead and make sure that I'm staying engulfed in this thing, because I know that the more that it's wrapped around me and I'm getting that energy, my creativity will be nonstop and it will just always be there. That's why I just, I said it's grace and God, because when you said your higher self, I said, I just got the hireme.com probably less than 6 months ago. So, we was thinking alike before we knew we was thinking alike.
Absolutely. 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 I was so connected before today. You know what I mean? Before last year. You know what I mean? I truly believe that. And this might sound a little far-fetched to some, but you know what I mean? A lot of things that's far-fetched is because people have never seen it before. They've never experienced it before. So I believe that my soul is connected to a lot of people before today. Before this lifetime right here. You know what I mean? It's that connection. It's unexplainable. You know what I mean? How you meet someone, it could be another fella, it could be a young lady, it could be whoever, and you just instantly had the connection, like you knew each other for decades. Like, yo, where you been at? You know what I mean? So I believe that this is a reconnection. You know what I mean? A reconnection.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes we don't even understand, and all of us is relatively new on this planet, and we all learn. That's why I try to. The one thing I'm adamant about is not being adamant about anything, because I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm always learning. For years we learned certain things maybe from a Christian perspective, but then when you start understanding like metaphysics, and you start understanding everything's connected, and you start looking at, wait a minute, chakra, then you look at numerology, then you're looking at Christianity, but you're also looking at so many different things that ultimately is all connected. You're like, wait a minute, because I think it's so much divisiveness, but not realizing it's just like, for example, when people talk about different races, but then the other people who are conscious say the human race. So it's just so many things that are connected. And let's say we say all us from different parts of the world, but we all human beings. We all connected. It's so many ways we can look at in the positive light, but we spend so much time creating division and divisiveness. Everybody believes in a higher being. They all got different names. It's just like addictions. Addictions is addiction, but all have different first names. Substance abuse addiction, alcohol, drugs, crack, gambling, shopping, sex, but all the last name is addiction. So, but it's still all connected. So we have to start opening our minds and start realizing we're more connected than we are divided. But it's just that we have a slave in the mind to make us think that we're divided. But we have to really realize and try to make a connection to all people, man. Because again, the bottle's half full, not half empty.
And that's the one thing that the planet is about. All this conversation that we have, I mean, I really enjoy it, because the same views we all seem to be on that same page and traveling in the same direction with things. We just might be in different trails. So I'm just looking for all the trails to come together and have one big trail. That's just the way that I plan on it being. But you guys are absolutely right, as far as the divisiveness and things like that. But the one thing that they always coin and label things, so at one time, right after all of the protests and all of, the antisocial stuff, it was a big thing about diversity and inclusion. Diversity and inclusion. That was the big term, diversity and inclusion. Like I tell everybody, I've been diversifying since 1974 when I went into first grade and I was the only black boy in my class in the Catholic school. I've been diversifying since then. And I had to and I was the only black boy in my class for 6 years. Matter of fact, I was the only black boy in elementary school at a Catholic school at that time.
Oh yeah, I know.
So, so I've been diversifying. So that's the purpose of what we're building right here, brothers, because this media if we can learn to empower ourselves, we would understand how others have gotten so strong and created such strength for their cultures by using this tool, and for them to open this up and make it available for us the way that they have, and so inexpensively. Brother Suave, you remember when you used to have to tote all that big equipment and stuff and go around and shoot your shows? You know how it was, man. You need a real crew. You needed some people to really carry all it. The only thing you need is something. The only thing you need is this. This is it. That's it. This is an entire TV studio. 20 years ago, they couldn't even go remote without spending $60,000 to go remote.
Yeah.
It was just a hard thing to do. I mean, they finally got there to start putting it in vans, but remote was something that the ABC network was doing in Germany and stuff. It wasn't really locals was really doing so much because they couldn't do it. The technology wasn't there. That was when they used to stick Velcro things on a board for the weather. When they used to stick stuff on a green board or a blue board for the weather, that was before all this transition.
Oh yeah.
If you remember that, when they used to stick stuff on a board and they used to hold it in their hand, they used to stick it on the board when we was kids. So I'm just throwing that back to just talk about our ability to empower ourselves with these tools that we have, man. And like I said, that's why I love to come here, have the conversations, share the philosophies, the beliefs, the moral ethics. It's a beautiful thing because it's hard and rare to speak with someone and have a good conversation, because most people don't spirit is not in the same place as ours. See, we're more spiritually led, and the rest of the intelligence is just a part of the grace, but we're spiritually led, and we know about how we have to love. We know those things. And that's why I love coming here, because we can have these conversations. Like I said, this whole thing is about being unapologetic, uncut, unedited. This is what we do because we talking to us.
Absolutely.
So there's no reason to hold back, no reason to hide. Nobody going to be disrespecting and judging. It's an open and truthful forum, but we're going to be truthful, and we're going to talk to each other. That's what we got to do, man. We got to talk and listen,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's see here. But let me see what I can come up with here. I think I need to go on in and do something right fast and let everybody know who we are and what we doing, and say something. I guess I have to just say something. All right, guys, in a minute. back. We back. We back. We're in a different layout this time.
There
Oh,
you go.
oh, you see, I'm playing. You know, I'm over here playing, man. Just having fun. Brothers,
Hey,
my brothers.
hey, when we was on commercial break, I was thinking about something, and I just wanted to share. I posted it earlier this week. I believe I did it on Monday or something. But one of the things is why I think it's so important for us to be properly educated. And sometimes we can say something because we was miseducated, and we could turn something that actually positive into negative. You know, and so sometimes, and that's where the indoctrination comes. So what I wanted to discuss, and I wanted to, you know, have a small dialogue, but I wanted to share this about dealing with the long-term history of so-called thinking we're insulting people, but we are so miseducated, we actually giving them a compliment. But we've been giving people a compliment, I mean, that we shouldn't give them a compliment. And this is the thing when it comes to the old Uncle Tom, you know, and knowing who this man was and his background, but we always say he's an Uncle Tom. Those fools out there were not Uncle Toms. You understand? They were coons. They was idiots. They was imbeciles. They was Neanderthals. So one of the things I wanted to share was a little Black history information regarding Uncle Tom, if you don't mind. Is that Uncle Tom was a man who refused to beat Black women. Uncle Tom was a man who refused to tell on other slaves. Uncle Tom was a man who would put cotton in the bags of other slaves at night so they wouldn't get beat. Uncle Tom was a man who helped 100 slaves get free long before the Underground Railroad. Uncle Tom was a man that once freed us and established the first labor school for other fugitive slaves. His name, Josiah Henson. Josiah Henson was an author, abolitionist, a minister, born into slavery in Port Tobacco, Charles County, Maryland. He escaped the Upper Canada in 1830 and founded a settlement and labor school for other fugitive slaves at Dawn, near Dresden in Kent County, Upper Canada of British Columbia. Stop calling these sellout Uncle Tom. Stop calling these sellouts Uncle Tom. That's a compliment. It's the Sambos that are the sellouts who would do anything, it says, who would do anything for a slave master's approval. So we've been calling these foons and sellouts Uncle Tom. They don't even deserve to be called Uncle Tom. And so for years, we need to change the narrative. And one of the things what the Success Architect is trying to say, people need to hear our voices. Because see, we are properly educate our people. We would give an image that our people be proud of, and we create our own narratives. You understand? And so for all those who are listening, do understand Uncle Tom is something you should be proud to be called.
I totally agree. While you were speaking, I was just looking at my son. I was like, didn't I tell y'all this last year or the year before? I know I had this conversation a while back and letting them know what Uncle Tom, the real meaning of it is and who he really is. You see what I'm saying? And what the difference is of an Uncle Tom and what a coon is. You see what I'm saying? What a traitor is. You see what I'm saying? What it truly is by definition, by action. So you right on. You right on, brother. You right on. Right on.
I agree with you. I read the I read the post, you know, and I was, and I've said that for years. And I told someone that, man, I forgot how long ago. I said, why are you calling him Uncle Tom? I said, that's a compliment. I said, I'm an Uncle Tom, you know, I don't like that. I said, I'm an Uncle Tom. I said, nah, he a coon. He dancing. He is step and fetch it. You know, that's what he doing. And step and fetch it, that's not even a diss because what they had to do and how they had to play it and who they really were was like night and day. So, you know, like you said, people need to formally get educated and they need to truly understand what it is and what racism truly is. Because I one thing about it is I hear a lot of people, quite a few people, you know, talk about, you know, racist and racism they've experienced. And when I hear the stories of what they experienced and what they consider racism is nothing compared to 70s when I grew up. You know, I mean, when I grew up in the small town that I came up in the Panhandle of Florida, we were actually having real race riots, black versus white kids at school in junior high having race riots. The police had to come and shut the school down type riots. So I mean, it's different. I mean, it depends on where you are, but you have to learn how to move. And I think that was my blessing, being in those uncomfortable places my entire life, starting when I was young. It helped me to understand those who were not kind toward me, and to understand those who had malice toward me. It helped me to understand how to move and identify those things. And I can say, since being down in South Florida since the mid 80s, it has taken away some of that characteristic because of the cultural melting pot here in South Florida. You know, a lot of those things are removed because those that were really there um to slow you down and to make things difficult didn't look like the ones that was here that was doing the same thing. So, you know, it's always been an adjustment period for me. But I thank God for those blessings, because I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to be able to share with those who just don't understand, because, you know, back in those days, things were a lot different, even though I think that the temperature now, the way things are now, is probably some of the, you know, the hottest temperatures I've seen since I was younger, you know, since the past administration got out and the way things kind of really separated for people. And I think a lot of people lost their, humanitarianism, or their compassion, their empathy. People are judgmental and don't have any patience anymore, you know, and you know, the love is starting to diminish, and love is the most powerful tool we have, man. So, you know, I think that has to start from within, and start with, and what I mean by that is our entire African diaspora family, is because it comes to a point where other, cultures of us in other places don't get along with us. So, you know, we have to build from within and start the love from within to be able to spread the love out. So that's why I'm looking to build this space, so I can create a space, because this physical world now, this physical world has already been established, and rules and laws have been established. This virtual world is new, so the rules are still wide open. You can be a part of the rule making process, you know, so because we are starting to exist in two real separate worlds, you know, the virtual world and the physical world. So I'm not gonna get into this. Man, I can go this for a long time, but that's what the planet. That's what the planet has been built for. This is a virtual space for us to be us, for us to love us, for us to create that love, to rebond that love, to build that love. Because if you feel it and you can imagine it in this virtual space, you can do it. That's all I got to say.
And you know what, man? See, this is why I love this so freaking much. Because again, you know, they say hindsight is 2020. As you see on the background, I have El Haj Malik El Shabazz, and I have it because, like, when people sit there, I have this and I had it for years, and people like, oh, that's Malcolm X. I said, no, it's not. It said, yes, it is. I said, no, it's not. Yeah, I said, first of all, if you pay attention, you realize that he came from Medina and Mecca. After he came from a pilgrimage, he was wearing patriarchs. That's an instant where you have to realize. But what happened is we had people who was saying, man, maybe we was wrong when we was going supporting King. And you're going to have this, everybody got their opinion. But when we needed to stay, in a sense, separate to a certain degree, so we can educate our children and teach them certain things, because when we lost that authority and power to teach our own kids, we started believing things like Christopher Columbus discovered America. We started believing all these false narratives in education. We didn't think about challenging the Constitution. We didn't think about challenging the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. But if we would have been separated, we would have had an opportunity to properly prepare generation after generation to let them know their history, how to navigate, and how to engage with. You understand? And so with that information, you will have a better chance of survival, a better chance of winning, and a better chance of achieving. Because what happens is you start having a level of self-dignity, self-pride, self-awareness, and understanding who you are and what you come from. You know, maybe we would have been a culture that's bilingual, because so many brothers I know from Nigeria speaks 4, 5, 6 languages. You understand? So I know that the power that we have, we would have eventually start saying, you know, in our separation time and coexisting and saying, hey, what tribe you come from? What you would have started finding out what language. And I think by 50 years, I think all of us would have been bilingual. I think all of us would have learned what tribe and our history and learned how to speak those languages. Because so my other, they making sure they learn the Torah, they learn their language, and they're still interacting. And I think other people learn their language and they still coexist with everybody. But us, we were stripped. So we could have gotten a chance to reconnect with our roots and our people, and then still living in the United States and not being anti-white, but just pro-black.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But where I'm at now, Brother Suave, you know what? Like, I'm here in South Florida now. 2 things I'm determined to do this year is learn how to speak Creole.
Bonjour, Kijonye.
Right. And learn and learn how to speak Spanish.
Está bien, bro. ¿Qué tú haces?
Yeah, so those are the 2 things that.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Bien, ¿y tú?
So you
Bien, y tú?
Yeah. So that's 2 of my goals this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and again, you know, but that's what I'm saying. But again, it's still certain things that we could have learned, man. And that's why it's so important, because, you know, we come from royalty. We need to find some way to reconnect to that. And one of the things, again, I'm always saying about your vision and trust. I just believe that more and more people will start being connected, understanding that this is a platform that's for us, by us, you know. And I wish that would have continued. FUBU had I thought they had something going on, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know how it fell off.
They did have something going on, but you know how it is too, is that whenever the enemy see you being prosperous, they're going to figure out a way to be able to slow down that prosperity. That's just the way it is. That's why with Neighborhood Planet, this is going to be a black kingdom to the end.
To the end.
To the end. This is going to be a black kingdom for eternity, you know. And the thing and looking at it, you know, it's about claiming land. Is what, and what I mean by that is this: whenever the settlers came to the United States, they seen how beautiful the United States was, and they just started claiming land. They would get on a horse, put a stake down, ride as far as you can, put a stake down, ride as far as they can, put a stake down. And so now we're in this place where it's 2 places where the race is going on, because all of this physical space is gone. Yeah. You know, and the ocean is taking back more and more. We know that. I mean, God is God. Let's keep it real. So you better have your spirit right. But there's 2 races that's going on. One is virtually, and you can start seeing those guys making those moves and adjustments to really trying to control this virtual space, because it's infinite too. It's as big as your imagination. Look how fast our technology has progressed in the last.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, so we know that they got something already. We know that they got it. They just letting it go real slow. They don't want to give too much to us at the same time. And the other race, as far as physical, is space. You see it. They run. Look, they determined to get us living on other planets that's close by. I don't care.
Yes.
Determined to do that. So, you know, my thing is, y'all, where are we in this race? We got to fight. One of these 2 places, we got to get a foothold on and really build us a real kingdom, regardless of how large it is, how small it is. But we got to be able to have dominion over ourselves. We got to be able to, have laws that benefit us, a place where we can really be prosperous. You know what I'm saying? And be able to, like I said, dictate the narrative and control the imagery as well. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And so, hey man, we just have to think, like you said, it's about really being formally educated for you to understand it, because there's been a system that has been created, and if you don't know the rules and how to follow the rules, you're gonna lose. And that's what's been happening. We've been losing for a long damn time.
And you're right. It's a whole bunch of rules out there. It's just like taxes. We always wonder why rich people don't pay these taxes or whatever, because they know the rules. And once you know the rules, you win.
Well, you know what?
Play the game. You know how to play the game. You know what I mean? You can't be a winner if you don't know how to play the game.
You're right. But a lot of them, to be honest about it, I think what it is, I think is really misconceived by a lot of people. And what I mean by that is a lot of them do pay. But the point is, they make so much revenue, them paying is not hurting their pockets. The percentage is so small. For them to have to pay, 20 million, it don't hurt because they got 500 million.
Yeah. And also when they donate and give back to charity, again, that helps them.
Of course,
it doesn't hurt them.
And a lot of times they have their own charities they're giving back to. So when you have your own corporations or your own businesses, it's good to have your own nonprofit so you can give back to the things that you want to give back to and have that as a tax write-off also. What I'm saying is not tax or any type of legal advice, but that's what the things I've seen also.
Well, we dropped that disclaimer in there, but we know you ain't giving legal advice. You don't have no authority to do that. But hey, it's all love. I say that in all love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is that's like, for me, I'm a socialpreneur. I believe in everything I do is profiting with a purpose. Everything. So, and I've been in service and dealing with nonprofit organizations since I was 14. So, and so that's why Neighborhood Planet is a public broadcasting network. It's public. Like, when we were talking to some of your art creators that create your art, and I was telling them, like, look, we're a public broadcasting company. We are nonprofit, but we know how to make profit. Was Jesus poor? he changed history, regardless of what people think of him as. Still, he changed history. And they can't tell me that he was a carpenter and he walked around around the world, and he was poor. He couldn't have been. The people to follow him, he had to have some type of wealth. I didn't say he was rich, but he had to have some type of wealth. So that and that's one thing that when as we continue to evolve with this platform, my station, Sheldon TV, my channel, we're gonna come in here. We're gonna talk about economics. We're gonna talk about merchandising, because listen, we all got to bring our merchandise on here and sell it. We could do better than Home Shopping Network.
Yeah,
keep it real. We can play some music, get to talking,
do the same thing they're doing. You're right.
Start waving products around here.
Absolutely. That's right. Dr. Brother Suave shirt. Hey, listen, that's just how it worked. The father of the six caps. Because I'm just rocking your G-Man red. I see you. So, yeah, man. I mean, that's just something that we have to do, because we we can't change nothing and be broke. It's just the game is the game. And that's one thing that I wish that our people embrace more. And I'm not talking about everybody, but it's one thing that you will always hear. Oh, the love. One thing about I've heard a lot from our people is, like, if you have this ambition to get wealthy, or you have this drive to generate a lot of money, that is bad. What they say about loving money. Look, it doesn't make you be in love and have that type of desire for money. but you got to have a passion if you want to live a certain life. And if you want to change other people's lives, you got to have that passion. The only way that you would change somebody's lives and you was poor and broke is if they have you on a news story and you got somebody's compassion. And it's just facts, so that's why, brother Suave, you were talking about your 501c3. I can't wait to work with you on that. Know what I'm saying? About what you're doing, General. I can't wait to work with you on that, because it's going to be a point where you're going to have your own charity too. And that's the one thing I drive, like with my hustle frat. I call them a hustle frat. You guys see me wear my file with a Delta shirt. That's a socialpreneurial frat. And what it stands for is philanthropy ascends in many dimensions, so and that's the purpose of it. It's about profiting with purpose. I help anyone build their own charity, because I believe that as we continue to move, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with being wealthy and changing other people's lives. You should have your own charity, your own passion. It's something that you specifically want to change. Of course, there's a lot of great organizations out there that support cancer and all that, and I support it too, because we need that type of research. We need that type of drive. But you know what? There's a lot of people already supporting that. And I'm not saying if that's not your passion, don't create nothing to do that. But I like to have it where I'm hands-on and I can see what I've done. I can see who lives I've changed. I'm touching them. I can go and knock on their front door type thing. And I know to get so big that you can't do that, but it's just the fact of, I think everybody should have their own little niche or their own space that they should really work to change. And that's what I want to help brothers do. If you have a passion or something that drives you, because like myself, I have a bunch of things like youth leadership development and other things that I really have a passion for. So you know what? I got an initiative for this, an initiative for that, an initiative for this, and it's all going to come through Neighborhood PBS. It's all going to come through Neighborhood Planet Network, and I'm gonna interact with those kids, and they're going to have their own TV show. They're going to have their own TV station. Terrific Kid TV is something that I have for my kids. Neighborhood Planimation is the one that creates the cartoons, so I mean, it goes, man. And I mean, the bricks, it's a lot of bricks that's stacked up. They just need, the brick mason to come and put them together and put the mortar on them so we can go ahead and continue to build these walls, man. So I can't wait to share with y'all, man. I can't wait to be able to reach out and give you resources and you give me resources and we continue to build together. Man, it's going to be fun. We're going to claim some land in this virtual space, y'all. We're going to get us some. We're going to get our 40 acres in a Maybach. Forget the music.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But that's the thing. We have to put ourselves in a situation to help people. And so when we talk about love, people don't understand. The word was charity. And then they replaced it with love. But the thing is, I don't know if you ever heard, but it's a book called The Go Giver. And so to see what happens is you have a whole bunch of people who don't have, because the people who don't have is always complaining about the haves. And so what happens is, again, when we're not woke and aware of the people who have, and this is where sometimes it's not good to be jealous of others and have animosity for people who have, because at the end of the day, I'm going to show you this. The have-nots and the pessimistic people, they're not given to charity. They're not given to the world. They're not using their time helping, for the most part. Not all. However, those rich people that you may complain about who not paying taxes, they giving to charities. They giving to universities. They giving food. Think about it. They may even, like, you look at the hustler, but they give out 10,000 turkeys in a community. They pay for funerals. The go-giver is helping, and they understand that their obligation to give. They don't have to. They give because they're trying to, basically, the people who give is benefiting the world at large, where the other people are not giving at all. And what reminds me of, I remember when they had the FCAT thing they were struggling with in Florida, and I remember my kids was in private school. So FCAT wasn't an issue. But guess who was out there marching and protesting? Me. Because it was bigger than my situation. I was looking out the masses. But what did bother me was, for 20 years, I volunteered and for nonprofits and did things, my dad's nonprofit. the program we was at, all the things I put time into for 20 years. And same thing with going out there fighting for the FCOT, for the people who needed, who had issue with standardized testing. But what bothered me was you have these people who are receiving so many government assistance, housing, money, food, and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that I think you should give, because you have the time that other people don't. Don't go around receiving all those perks and benefits. And then when the hard workers out there working, you still go get all the pencils and pens, school supplies, turkeys and bags. And then the people working hard who's struggling don't even have opportunity to get it, and you got the time. We shouldn't even have to pay school crossing guards because we have a whole bunch of people who are not even working. They can volunteer that, they can go ahead and volunteer as chaperones, if they're receiving housing and food and the extra checks and all those benefits. That's just my belief, because they're receiving, and the blessing is always in giving, and I think they can give some of their time. But again, the go-giver is just basically saying that these people who are giving, we need to appreciate them and they understand how important it is to bless others.
I totally agree. And giving back is not only with money, like you said, it's with service. You know what I mean? How can I service someone? If, you may not be in a financial standpoint or in a place where you can give financially to make a difference. But, sometimes you can do, like you said, volunteer at a school, be a chaperone on a school trip, crossing guards. We need crossing guards every day. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I was driving my kids to the school the other day and the other morning, we got there right on time. Usually I get there early, but we got there right on time. And, the crossing guard finished, doing their thing. And I was like, excuse me. I said, just want to tell you, thank you. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate that. And I thank you. She was like, I got to be out here for my babies. Keep them safe. Keep my babies safe. I like, well, I appreciate you. I really do. Just to say thank you, because how many lives has a crossing guard saved? I remember crossing guards when I was a child in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? And I seen a clip somewhere on social media where a crossing guard pushed the kid out the way and took the hit of the vehicle. Yeah, I seen it. I should have saved it, but I'm like, wow, imagine if that crossing guard wasn't there. That kid had to be like in 5th grade. Would have got hit by that car, And it looked like the crossing guard was okay, but still, they pushed the kid out the way and took the impact. And just like you said, crossing guards, just something just to keep vigilant eyes that, us as adults can see, we can foresee that kids are not even paying attention to, or just people in general, So I totally agree.
There we go. I got it. I had to unplug. But I agree with you too, Brother Suave. I agree with you on that. And you know what? I knew someone some years back that got a crossing guard job because she just needed a job. She didn't have any kids or anything like that. And what was the amazing thing is about 23, 24 years later, she was still a crossing guard. And, and when I was talking to her, she was explaining to me, she fell in love with taking care of those kids. She ended up getting married and having kids of her own. And I never would have expected it because the type of girl she was, and it was an amazing thing. It do take a certain type of person to be a crossing guard, the same way it takes a certain type of person to be a real teacher. It has to be a love. It has to be a purpose, that you have in order for you to do that. In my regard, I think, and that's how I feel about it. But I agree with you on that as well. I think it should be an issue of service. I think people should give. I think they should give when they have the availability to give and not have the demeanor of give me, because I think that's something that's been ingrained and actually been programmed in a big segment of our culture where it's all about, can I have? And it's unfortunate. And that's why I tell a lot of people to be honest about it. Neither political party really has had no love for us. So, you know, we got to figure it out, man. I'll leave it at that.
That's what we got to build. That's why we got to build. That's why we got to empower. That's why we got to self-reflect, self-empower, and build. Because again, like I'm always saying, one heart, one life, one soul, protected at all costs. We got to look at us as a community and seeing that history will repeat itself. We've seen that recently with the last administration. So we have to take heed to the realities of what we're seeing and just do our own thing, protect our culture at all costs, empower our culture, and realize that even though we want to sit there and say we're not sometimes by ourselves, but the way history repeating itself is keeps showing us. It's showing us in professional football, the slaps in the face to prevent a lawsuit to start hiring. You're like, wow. They don't even try to hide the obvious. So we got to start not hiding obvious, because let me tell you, anybody knows me, and I have mentors who are Jewish. They've been there for me pretty much all my life. But the thing is, they know who I am and where I stand. And anybody who knows me know who I am and where I stand. And they know that I got mad respect for others, but nobody's going to come before me, and nobody's coming before my culture. That's just how it is. But they know I got their back and they have mine. You understand? And they know where I stand. But the thing is, we got to be able to let people know. That's why a lot of times so many people don't understand why some people who may not look like Trump and sit there and say, well, at least I know where you stand. So you have to let people know where you stand and not make them, you don't have to do any deception. You don't have to coon. You don't have to sit there code switch. You can just be who you are because they know where you stand. And that's one of the things, what I said on my show, how I am in private is how I am in public. I'm that same person. How I am around my brothers is how I'm around the others. Just who I am, and we have to start being consistent with that stand and show respect to everybody, no need to, and I let people know that's just like, if I talk to you guys, I love you brothers, but you'll never come before my family. You understand? That's just how it is. And I guarantee you, I don't think any of you guys take it personal. That's just how it is. And other groups got to start. You let them know where you're standing. Like, hey, this is the cause. This is the line right here. That's all.
Well, I wouldn't be rolling with you if you didn't feel that way, because I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
So we understand one another. So it won't be a misconception or a misunderstanding, because I would not be rolling with you if you did not feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being honest with you. I'm a real. So
there's a great quote that said, how can two walk together unless they agree? You know what I mean? So I'm totally in agreement. And I believe that anybody who's in agreement can walk together. You see what I'm saying? So I'm on board with what you're saying. People of other agendas, other cultures, other whatever, they understand that we can walk together, because we're in agreement on where we at in life. What you doing and what I'm doing, what they doing. Hey, I'm in my lane and you in your lane, and as long as we ain't hitting each other crossing.
My dad used to say, you stay in your lane, I stay in mine, we won't have no accidents.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, man, I mean, and that's the way that it should be. I wouldn't expect anything differently, because we understand the pecking order. We understand the orders in life and priorities in life and importances in life. And that's the best thing. And that's why we build in this space, because we're looking to get like-minded people. You hear so many people say, oh, it's not this kind of person anymore. It's a lot of them kind of people. This is a big world full of a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people like us. The thing is, we got to have a place where we can all come together and know those other people like us. And that's what Neighborhood Planet is about.
Neighborhood Planet.
We want to know other people like us. We want them to come and hang with us. It should be more people in here with us right now, with corkscrews and cocktails and whatever, candles. It don't matter, Canadian bacon, but it's just, but yeah, man, it's just that's the purpose for the space. We build in space so we can share, we can bring like minds together, we can share thoughts, we can build, and that's what because we need to do it. And like you were saying, how those owners don't care, they do it in front of your face. You know why? Because they make the rules, man.
Yeah.
Ever make the rules control everything. That's why we have to understand in these spaces, we got to be in places and have spaces where we can make the rules, be a part of the rule making process.
Yes.
That's why we're where we are now. There was no black man in there when they were signing the Constitution.
No.
We weren't nowhere around when they was making rules. Because
the ones who was signing constitutions had slaves. Writing contradictions.
Exactly. Having slave babies. That type of stuff. So that's why we have to be in a place in the space that we make the rules or we control that space.
Yes.
And the quickest space that I see for us is the virtual space.
Yes.
So let's take this thing, man, and let's build it and create our own, so we can control our own. And I believe that will also spill over in the physical world at the end of the day, because it's this virtual world that's creating all the revenue.
Yes, monetary world. Yes.
Oh my God, because Facebook have more people on it every day than nation. The amount of people in nations, their revenue is bigger than nation's GDP. All generated from being right here in this virtual space. So we got them, y'all. We got them. We just got to build, man. We just got to build. Nonstop. But yeah, man. I didn't mean to veer us off the subject, but it gets me a little passionate.
Nothing wrong with passion.
Absolutely
nothing wrong with passion.
Absolutely not. Y'all hear me over here? I'm over here playing some old soul. Back when they used to call it soul music, there wasn't no R&B back when we were younger. The section that you used to have to go and buy your CDs and your records from was soul. That was the only category we had in music for us. That was, that's what it was. But anyway, but yeah, fellas, I mean, I really enjoyed tonight and having this conversation. Yeah, we touched on some things. Brother Suave, we got the Dr. Brother Suave show coming up on Thursday at 8:30. And you can tell us a little bit about who your guest going to be this week and maybe what your topics are coming up on Thursday.
Yes, this Wednesday at 8:30, we're going to be having sister from Nigeria, Gumakande. We're going to be talking about family, friends, and faith. And so she's a brilliant lady, represent what a lot of people want and desire, when it comes to their family intact, their culture is intact, their religious philosophy is intact, their children intact, their family. So she's going to really talk about a lot of things, and I have a high admiration from her, and, the transitions from Nigeria to here, learning the different systems, and also succeeding, and this is a lot of things that a lot of times we have to realize that people are coming here and doing big things because they staying focused and keeping their eyes on the prize. And so this is it's going to be, again, a mind-blowing, thought-provoking, and eye-opening experience. It's coming Wednesday on Social Therapy with Dr. Brother Suave.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about right there. Social Therapy with Dr. Brother Suave coming up this Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. right here on NPNTv. Watch Sheldon TV and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Brother General, Father to Six, tell us something. What's going on with you this week, man? Talk to us.
Man, I'm just I'm over here doing my thing with these kids, trying to, start from the ground up. I ain't starting, I'm finishing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna continue planting seeds. And one of the posts I put in there was certain seeds move and grow at certain speeds. You know what I mean? And I was just talking to someone earlier today. I was telling them that as a farmer, as you plant seeds, you're not grazing up the dirt, the soil to see where the roots is at. You know what I mean? You have faith in your planting abilities, and that seed is going to plant. And you're not just planting one seed as a farmer, you're planting multiple seeds. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just planting seeds here, through my kids and, through the people I talk to. And, one thing you said earlier, you said something about it takes a certain type of person for for certain things. I totally agree. It takes a certain type of person for any and everything that we do. It's about where you fit in. You see what I'm saying? Are you that certain person for that particular area? We have warriors in the front lines whose they job, they about that life on the front lines. You have those who are the money makers. They finance that stuff. Then you have those who are lawyers who defend, get those brothers and sisters out. You see what I'm saying? So, I just and I think sometimes, where is it that I'm at? What am I doing? Am I contributing best where I can fit in? And yes, I am. Yes, I am. And every day I strive to be better. But the only way that we can, and for my example is, the only way I feel like, well, not the only way, one of the ways that we can lead is by example. Because people see things, especially people who look up to you, like my kids, like as you a mentor, your mentees look up to you, and the things that you do truly impacts them, and they mimic that in different ways. So I just one day at a time, one seed at a time, and just staying positive and focus on the mission itself.
Amen. And you know what? I like to play in the garden, because in germinating the seeds to get them to crack that shell and start growing is the hardest thing in the world. You can try a lot of things. You had to throw it away seeds because they done dried out, they cracked, but they didn't pop out and all kinds of things, man. So I like that different seeds grow at different speeds. But y'all, I just want to say thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming on the planet. You guys are official citizens. I got to get y'all I'm a citizen of Neighborhood Planet t-shirt, because so we slowly building. We came and put our flag on here like Neil Armstrong did the moon. So we done got our inner space, and we're gonna do what we can do in this inner universe. So while they're out there exploring outer space, we're gonna explore this inner space, because they know that this is infinite too. They know this is infinite. They know that the internet is infinite, man. Because everything is over internet protocol now. Everything, all your smart stuff for your house and everything. So it's gonna be a point like we see on the movies. They really want to mess you up. They're gonna cut everything off.
Oh, damn.
And there's gonna be nothing you can do about it. You can't do it like the old FPL power meters where you used to plug up to other people's stuff and get power. Those orange extension cords was running down the side of people's houses and out the windows.
That's how we were doing in Jamaica, having the cords,
Yeah, man. But fellas, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to continue the building. Brother General, we got to complete our conversation, man. I can't wait. I'm glad I'm getting into this control in studio, being able to produce things now. Our first show, I don't know if you watched it yet, Brother General, but if you get a chance, go take a look at Dr. Brother Suave debut show, man. I think that we knocked it down being our first show. It was a great show. My wife has been sharing it with her friends. Her friends have been talking about it. They love it. I think it's something that's feeding a lot of souls and a lot of minds and a lot of hearts. And I appreciate that, Dr. Brother Suave. Brother Father the Six, again, we know we got to tell the story. Definitely got to get that thing we've been talking about, so we can quit talking about it and start showing people what we're talking about. And everybody out there, y'all remain well, man. Remember to love, love people the way that you want to be loved. It's just that simple. Treat people the way you want to be treated. It's just that simple. Any one of you guys got some parting words before we shut it down for tonight, fellas?
All I let people know is great minds reach great places.
Brother General?
Love, light, life, in that order. Because love brings the light brings the life. Love, light, life, in that order.
Well, y'all heard it here first. So in the meantime, This program was made possible by Neighborhood Planet Broadcasting Systems, Neighborhood Planet Network, and from contributions to NPNTv from viewers like you. Thank you.